Hi everyone, welcome to the Mighty Trades channel. My name is Johar. Welcome to another episode of Weekend Technical Analysis. Last week we concluded our episode with VIP Industries. So let's not waste any more time and move on to the next one, which is MTAR Technologies. So this stock got listed in March 21. In fact, I did apply for the IPO and I got the IPO listing also. I got 2 lots, I think, and I sold it. I held it after the IPO, and I sold it I think somewhere around this candle because I saw this very large red bearish engulfing candle which closed below this support line. So I sold it around here, and since then it's been in a complete downtrend. So currently there is no up move right now. This level where it is currently right where it is at right now can be a potential support, but I think it's going to continue falling for quite a few more weeks because there's a very large bearish candle that it's fallen by, moved down by almost 11%. So better to avoid MTAR Technologies right now. So that's the view on MTAR. Moving on to SPARC. Okay, so as you can clearly see here, I've already drawn a line over here on SPARC, and what you can clearly see on the chart is that it's made a head and shoulder pattern. So this is the left shoulder right here, this is the head, this is the right shoulder, and the neckline has been broken now. Let me see this on the line chart as well. So on the line chart you can see it more clearly, right? The shoulders. So definitely this stock has broken the neckline. It can very possibly go down to 175, 180 levels. So if we remove the target for this basis the head and shoulder pattern, so yeah, the price can potentially move down by 83 points. So it can come down to these 170 rupees levels. So better to avoid this stock right now. Alright, moving on to Mrpl. Wow, what a beautiful chart. I mean, we are looking at the weekly chart right now, and since the last 4 weeks our markets have been completely falling, but this stock in the last 4 weeks has given a return of, let's see, 78%. Just, I mean, crazy. That's crazy brilliant. And as you can see here, this level right here was a pretty strong resistance since 2019, which was decisively broken in April, and since then it's just been moving up. And now the stock seems to have taken a pause over here at this resistance level. So now we have one resistance here where it's currently taking a pause, and then the next resistance is somewhere around this zone. So this entire zone from 78 to 89 rupees, this is a 10 rupee zone where the stock can potentially take a pause for a couple of days or weeks and then maybe move up. So right now at this price I wouldn't buy. I would wait for some consolidation to happen around here and then see a breakout above this to buy it. But let's just quickly go and check the fundamentals of this company to understand if we should even consider taking a position in the first place, because right now the market's very volatile. Any company that comes out with a bad result gets thrashed. Any company with very high debt gets thrashed. So it's better to avoid such companies. Alright, so let's see. ROC is in the negative, so not a good sign right there. Debt to equity is super high, so very high debt to equity. So this is also not a good sign. Let's go look at the financials once. Let's go look at the sales. So sales last quarter, the December quarter results that we have, highest ever sales, and looks like highest ever net profit as well. Okay, that's a good sign. If you look at their interest payment, Interest payments are also pretty high. If you look at the profit and loss, then yeah, you can clearly see that they were making 71,000 crores back in 2014, and now they're making 58,000 crores. So sales haven't increased at all. Operating profit margin is also pretty low. Their interest payments are very high. Their profitability is also questionable. There are many years when they have not had profitability. Right now they are having profitability. The trailing 12 months net profit is at the lowest. So not sure why the stock price is rallying so much. If you look at their balance sheet, then their borrowings are at the highest ever levels right now. So that is also not a great sign. And if we look at the shareholding pattern, then yeah, nothing, there is no major foreign investor or foreign institutional interest or even a domestic institutional interest in the stock. So not sure why why the stock price is rallying up. But I seriously believe that the stock can go up till these 89 rupees levels, but it's a risky bet, and at this price point I would not be comfortable buying this. If it gives a breakout above 78 where it currently is right now, if it gives a nice strong closing above this, you can take a position till 89 rupees and then book your profit there. And if it gives a breakout above 89, then the only straight resistance is back to its all-time high at 140 rupees. But I'm personally going to avoid this because the fundamentals of the company aren't looking great for me, and I'm not sure how well the stock will continue performing in the future. So that's my view on MRPL. Moving on to NAZARA Technologies. Let's see, this stock is in a complete downtrend right now. It's gone even below its listing price, so better to avoid this stock for now. Let's see some stability, some momentum, some consolidation, and then we can take our call on it, because it's been just falling from January onwards. So better to avoid this stock now. Looking into VMART also we can clearly see, let's see it on the line chart, a very poor, a very classic head and shoulder pattern that formed. So first you can see this is the left shoulder, this is the head, and this is the right shoulder that formed. And in every shoulder or head you can see that there is a double top formation also, right? Like over here we saw a M pattern double top formation. That breakdown happened here, stock moved down, again tried to go up, made this other shoulder, again made a M formation over here, a double top, broke this low of the double top and fell down, and now it's completely crashed back down to this level. Let's see what is the target of this head and shoulder pattern. So as per the head and shoulder pattern, the expected down move can be up till these levels of 2246. So better to avoid this right now. No reason to be bullish on this stock. Moving over to CANFINHOME. Let's see. Okay. Alright, so this has also been correcting along with the market, so nothing out of the ordinary. One good thing is that it's still holding this important support zone right here. If you look at the line chart, it will be more easy and clean. So this is a very important support zone. Let's move it down a little further. Alright, so this is the important support zone which it's still holding on to. So that is one positive factor in the stock. And apart from that, there is no real other price action that I can identify. If you try and draw some trend line here, then it doesn't make sense to me, at least. So right now it's at its support zone. I don't think there is any real mighty trade opportunity here. any trading opportunity would only open up above this level of 670 rupees. So right now there's no reason to buy the stock. Moving over to RVNL, again no reason to purchase the stock, seems in a downtrend. It made this huge bullish candle in October, and then the next candle was again a huge bearish candle. Yeah, better to stay away from this. Looking at SUNTECK. Okay, let's see what's happening here. So SUNTECK actually was on my watch list for quite a while. In fact, I had taken a trade also in this. So I took a trade when this breakout happened over here, right? When this was forming, when I was seeing this sort of small rounding that was forming, I think I bought the share over here on this big candle, and it went up till here all the way, it went up till here also, and then on this candle I exited with some 4,000-5,000 rupees profit. It was a very small trade that I had taken, but thank God I did get out, because after that fell down till here, then again went up again, then again came down. So it was not so it's been consolidating largely in this range, and right now from what I can see is that this also has a head and shoulder pattern. So you can see the left shoulder here, the head over here, and the right shoulder over here, and the neckline, it's very close to its neckline right now, and there are very high chances that you can see this neckline being broken. So the only way we can be bullish on the stock is if we get a closing above 525 rupees. If we do get a closing above 525, then you can hold this stock for the target of, let's see here. So from this neckline or this resistance zone, the price, the potential target is 65%, but if we get a closing above 525, then our target will be 38%, and our stop loss in this case will be, let me just remove this, let me add the long position right here. There we go. Now stop loss in this case, it has to be this level where it currently is. So closing below this level of 414 rupees will make the stock weak. So a 1:2 ratio, 40% gain for close to a 21% loss. So I'm adding this to my tracker because I do like SUNTECK Reality. I'm seeing a lot of ads of theirs in the newspaper, in YouTube, everywhere. So they are definitely doing a lot of marketing for their properties. So I think those should lead to good sales. But as you guys know, a company's fundamentals and technicals can work separately at some times, even though fundamentally a company might be performing very well. But if there's no investor interest in that particular stock, then there are chances that the stock will not perform, the share price will not perform. So I'm keeping this in the watch list because I would be interested in purchasing this stock, because I do believe this is a good company, fundamentally also very strong. Let's look at the fundamentals ones as well while we are here. So let's look here. So as you can see, being a real estate company, the debt to equity is under 0.50. So that is a very nice thing that I like about this stock. And if we look at their quarterly results, then the results are also good. December, the sales were okayish, not that great, but at least they have been posting profits for the last 5-6 quarters. If you look at their yearly setup, then since March 2020, their sales have gone down a little bit. This was the COVID year. It picked up in the 2021 scenario, and in 2022, I think this December quarter and June quarter weren't really great. I am not sure if there is any seasonality because of this, maybe, but let's see what happens. If we look at the shareholding pattern, then the shareholding pattern, the FII holding has been stable, close to stable since the last 3 weeks. DII holding is also in the 4 to 5 range for the last 3 quarters. And if you look at the public holding, that is also pretty much stable, slightly reducing, so that is also a good sign. So fundamentally it's a profitable company. It's not posting amazing profits, but definitely better than what's out there already. So SUNTECK Reality is, I think, one stock that I want to add to my watch list. Alright, so now we have entered the May month. So today's day, while I'm recording this, is 8th May. The price as of now is 437.65. Currently has a bearish head and shoulder pattern. Close above 525 will invalidate head and shoulder pattern, and close above 525 will invalidate the head and shoulder pattern, and the major bullish breakout will get activated. Okay, so just to recap, this was the breakout that happened above this resistance line in September. It then tried to move up all the way till here, but now it's ended up making a head and shoulder pattern. If this neckline is broken down, this part here, then we will see a sharp sell-off or down till possibly these levels. But if a closing comes above 522 rupees, then we can see a strong up move back into this stock. So 522 is the level. Now, what is the target? In our case, it's 732 rupees. Potential gain is 40%. Our stop loss in this case is going to be 414 rupees. And this trade we are waiting for entry. Okay, that's the view on SUNTECK. Looking over to Indiabulls Real Estate, which is another real estate company just like SUNTECK, and the picture is completely different. This stock is in a complete downtrend. I think there were a lot of hopes pinned on this stock. There was this major resistance zone that it gave a breakout above. This one, since 2019, this was a resistance, consolidated here. There was a huge breakout. A lot of people came out and said this is a brilliant chart, you should invest in it. But then this rally completely fizzled out, and it's just been a complete downtrend since then. So please avoid this stock. There's nothing to look over here. Moving over to BDL. BDL looks interesting. Bharat Dynamics. Strong up move. In the last 2 weeks, it's corrected like the rest of the market. But look at the volumes. It's corrected with very low volumes, and look at the up move that happened with very high volumes. So let's look at the daily chart. So yeah, we look at the daily chart, then definitely the stock is in a very, very strong momentum. I think for momentum traders, this could be potentially a good level. This zone from the current price of 690 all the way till 630 should be a good accumulation zone where you can start buying up the stock and holding it from a momentum trading perspective. Because Bharat Dynamics is, I believe, a PSU company which is in the defense sector, if I'm not wrong. BDL. Yeah, it's a government of India enterprise in the manufacture of guided missiles and allied defense equipment. So yeah, it's in the military space. And you know, with all these global tensions going around and a lot of foreign powers coming to India and telling why aren't you going against Russia and telling them that their aggression is bad. Now, one of the reasons is that India is very heavily dependent on Russian arms imports. A lot of our major arms come from Russia itself. So I think after looking at this geopolitical situation, India might invest more heavily in its own defense, in its own domestic defense companies. So that can be a catalyst for this share price to go up in the future. So I think this is a good zone for anyone to start accumulating from a momentum trading perspective. Let's go back to the weekly chart, and if you look at the super trend right here, so yeah, you can see that the super trend is pretty much positive since August of 2021. And if you look at the daily chart, then you can see the same story over here. Super trend positive, comes down a little bit. So I think the super trend is in the negative territory now. So you can potentially buy it over here as long as it does not break this high. So this is the breakout candle that happened here, which took out the previous high. So if it goes below this, then you should close off your position. Otherwise, this entire zone can be a good accumulation zone for anyone who is a momentum trader. So that's the view on BDL. Moving on to TEAMLEASE. Alright, so you can already see that I have drawn this line over here, and it's broken out. It's broken down. This was a major support line where a breakdown happened. So very clearly, no trading opportunity. At least a bullish trading opportunity is not here. Moving on to GMMPFAUDLR. So it's been consolidating for a pretty long time in this box sort of formation. So we have to wait for some price action to happen outside this box, either on the upside or on the downside, to figure out what's happening. Otherwise, there is no real pattern that's playing out over here. It's just consolidating. Maybe you can buy it at the bottom of this box and sell it at the top of the box. That's one trading opportunity that you can have. Or if you're a short seller, you can sell it at the top of this box. That's your call. But overall, this box's depth is around 25-26%. So that's what you can do. You can buy it at the bottom, sell it on the top. So that's the view on GMMPFAUDLR. Moving over to Privy Specialty Chemicals. Okay. So as you can see, there's already a line drawn here. This was part of one of my momentum trades already that I have been holding for a couple of months. And last week, the neckline, this support line was broken, and I closed off my position right here. Booked a small loss, but we have to close it. We have to follow our rules. So clearly, this has broken this support trend line that was respecting since August of last year. So this trend line has been in play since almost 8-9 months, and finally we got to close below this trend line. So something's changed in the price action, definitely. So avoid this stock for now. Let it go up back above this trend line, and also give a close above this 2128 rupee levels. Then there will be some bullish momentum. But this large bearish candle, which is a 13% drop, the high of this candle at 1912 rupees is going to act as a very strong resistance now going forward. So let it give a close above this. Only then you can consider taking a trade. I would honestly only take a trade if it gave a breakout above this level. So better to avoid Privy Specialty Chemicals right now. Moving over to JM Financial Services. Nothing happening here. Complete downtrend. Please avoid the stock. Any price action will only happen if and when it gives a closing above this level of what is this, 79 rupees. Moving over to Rosary Biotech. Rosary Biotech, same story, complete downtrend. I think it's going to move even further down, because if you look at the line chart, this was the major support trend line that it was having since the last couple of weeks, and now it's given a closing below that trend line. So please completely avoid the stock. It's going to go down further. Moving over to Kalyan Jewelers. Kalyan Jewelers also no price actioning happening here. This is a new listing, just got listed in March of last year. Moved up, gave a very strong up move in the month of May last year, then moved down. It's a highly volatile stock, very large moves, but right now though it looks like since October of last year it's been on a complete downtrend. So better to avoid this as well. Looking at Symphony also, you can clearly see there was this resistance line which it broke out in April only, last month, just around 2-3 weeks back, and then it has come back down to this level again. So it's retesting this, possibly retesting this this breakout point, but I'm not sure. I don't see any. Let me see the line chart. So I'm not seeing any pattern like a head and shoulder or cup with handle or anything. But if it sustains above this resistance line, then the next target automatically becomes the next resistance. So a 20% move from here. So if it sustains above this line, then the next target will become the next resistance point, which is this line here. So you can potentially take a trade till this level. I'm going to avoid it because Symphony is into, I think, air conditionings units, and with prices of everything going up, I don't know how many people are going to prioritize buying an air conditioning, save a few rich people. But definitely consumer discretionaries or consumer durables are going to have a hard time getting customers. Moving over to Delta Corp, strong downtrend, extremely strong downtrend. I mean, if you look at the monthly candle, you can just see here that the month of April was very strong bearish candle. The month of May has also not been any different. So something is definitely happening in Delta Corp. Better to stay away. If we look at the line chart, we can clearly identify the support level, which was this line, and it's given a closing and as you can see, the price has given a close below this support line, right? So better to avoid this right now. It can move down possibly till 200 rupee levels, and then maybe we can start taking a trade. But very strong down move with good volume as well, so please avoid Delta Corp right now. HGS, same story, double top pattern. As you can see here, two identical tops that made here, gave a breakdown below this low of the double top pattern, and then it's just been moving down. Now it's come to this support level, but if this support level is broken, then the move will go further till 600 rupees. So please avoid the stock. Same story with HEG, strong down move. It's in a strong down move. If it breaks this, I think it will go back to 700 rupee levels or even till its COVID low. So please stay away from this. Tata Invest. Okay, let's see here. So this was definitely a downward trend line that it's broken out in April, and it's been consolidating since 4 weeks above this trend line. So that is a positive thing for sure, but I can't find any pattern or anything as such. Let me see the fundamentals of the company to understand what's happening. So Tata Investment Corporation, let's see, book value is 3861, great. Current price is 1471. Okay, let's look at the financials. So financials not that great. Sales numbers is very high, margin is super high, the net profit is, I can't really understand that. Why are the sales so low? It's very surprising. Not sure how to read this. If we look at the profit and loss statement, then yeah, this is, they're making, I think, close to the highest ever net profit in the last 12 months. If you look at their balance sheet, their reserves are growing massively. That's good. If you look at their shareholding pattern, then no major institutional interest. If you look at the public holding, then that's at 24%. That's also pretty much the same. Not sure what's happening here. Definitely there is some strong price action though. It's consolidating for the last 4 weeks, even though the markets have been falling. This has largely consolidated here, so someone is holding the stock up over here. Now whether this is a distribution or accumulation that's happening, that is a little difficult to say. But if you look at the line chart, a breakout above this line of this price, basically, switch back to the candle, which is your 1497 rupees, can potentially take this stock to its previous resistance of 1686. So it will be a very short-term trade of 10-12% gain. So you can maybe consider going into it if it gives a closing above 1498. And that too, you should do this on a daily chart. Actually, this is on daily chart because this is a short-term trade. Let's do it on a daily chart. Yeah, so you can get 11% gain if it gives a closing above 1514 rupees. So that's the trade idea for Tata investment. All right, moving over to GNFC. So like rest of the market, GNFC has also been falling since the last 4 weeks, and as you can see, this is already part of my watch list. I already have an active trade in this. I bought it somewhere around here at 600 rupees. I think I was when I bought it, and my target for this trade is 1000 rupees. So now this stock has already moved up quite a bit. I would not suggest anyone to take a position now in this stock. It's very close to its target. It is still in going through a correction right now. I don't know how long this correction will last, but my stop loss is going to be this super trend right here, which is 686 rupees. If it gives a closing below this, I will exit my position. If it stays above this, and then I'll continue holding till this level, or till it actually gets closer to this level at least. So in GNFC, there was a trade. Now there isn't a trade anymore. So the whole point of this channel is to help you guys to figure out such trades, right? If I come and give you the trade every single time, then how will you learn? So this entire activity that I do with you guys for 1 hour by sitting and identifying price action is so that you can identify these kind of trades by yourself. So I would strongly urge you, carefully watch every video that I put forward. You just have to take out 1 hour in the entire week, and you will learn how to identify this trade. I mean, GNFC was really a textbook trade that anyone could have identified. So if we look at the monthly chart here, you can clearly see that this was a strong resistance level that had broke out of. And when you're seeing such an old resistance being taken out so strongly, what do? You just simply buy it. You go check the company's fundamentals. If the fundamentals are strong, if it's fundamentally good company, just go buy the stock, hold it. And very simply, you have to just calculate the depth of this entire consolidation, put it up above the resistance line, and just continue holding it. And very simply, you can put super trend over here to keep it as your trailing stop loss. Yes, the stop loss is large, but the reason why it's large is because every stock has its own character, right? If you look at this entire move that it's been making since long, the stock moves up by 20-30% in a week, then consolidates here, then again moves up, consolidates. And sometimes the corrections are so deep that it comes very close to the super trend line, and you might get afraid and you might just book your profit over there and get out with a lower profit. You know, there might have been so many people here. Let me show you a good example of this. Like back in this year of say June 2021, right, the stock gave a sharp up move. A lot of people would have entered on this candle thinking it will further go up, then moved up, then consolidated, then made this low right here in 21st June 2021, then consolidated again, moved up, and then it broke this consolidation here. And as you can see, it broke it strongly, right? The moment people saw that this low was being broken, a lot of people would have exited their positions either in loss or in some small profit. And then it consolidated for 2-3 weeks over here, and then it again moved up very quickly. Now, if you weren't following a trailing stop loss strategy like how I do, like a super trend, you would have probably also booked your profit by keeping this low as your stop loss. You would have booked your profit or booked your loss and gotten out of the trade and missed the entire up move that came after that. So follow a systematic strategy for stop loss. I use the weekly super trend as my trailing stop loss, because in the daily stop loss this will continue keep getting hit very often, so it's better to have it in a weekly. That's why we analyze weekly charts, so that our super trend is also on a weekly basis. So if it gives a closing below 683, then I will exit my position with whatever profit I have. Until then, I'll keep holding it. So I hope that inspires you a little bit to, you know, learn trading strategies on your own and watch my videos to learn it by yourself. And that's the whole point behind my channel, is to enable you to how you can do this by yourself, where you don't need the help of any one or any influencer to come and tell you that, you know, go ahead and buy this trade or look at this chart. You should be able to find it yourself. Now moving over to BEML, this stock is also in my watch list. I will show you guys the all-time chart. This is the monthly chart, as you can see. And BEML is also a PSU stock. I believe this is also in the defense sector. Well, okay. Yeah, so it wide range of heavy earth moving catering to mining and construction industry, vehicles for defense forces, and coaches for the metro and Indian railways. So as you can see, since 2006, it has been consolidating in this box, right? Now it comes here, goes down, came back here again, went down till the bottom of this box, close to the bottom, consolidated here, then moved down, again came up, again came up. So as you can see, for so many years, it's been consolidating in this one zone. Now this time though, there is something different that is happening. Right, what is happening is that it's been consolidating for quite a few months at the top like never before. So let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, so let me first use this line chart. Okay, so if you see in the line chart, these are clearly this is clearly the high of the consolidation zone, which it made back in 2017. Now if we look here, okay, and look very closely at this, so this was the first time it made this high. It did not stay above it and it immediately fell down. Okay, then it came back here and it again retested this high and it consolidated at this high for 1 and 2 months. For 2 months it consolidated at this high, and the next month it immediately moved down. Then it again came back here and retested this zone again. And how many times did it consolidate above this zone? So let me also mark a specific price point here. Okay, so this line which you're seeing here, which is 1552 rupees, this is the high zone of the box of the consolidation, right? This is the highest point of the box, and we are trying to find out for how many months this particular stock is consolidated. So over here you can clearly see it consolidated for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and then 7th month onwards a breakdown happened. Now this time what we can see is that it's consolidating here since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this is the 7th month where the stock is consolidating, just like last time, just like how it did back in 2017. Now if this stock breaks below 1557, then the stock will resume its previous pattern and go down again. However, if it manages to survive above this level for another month or gives a breakout above this level in this month, then the entire trend will change, right? Because what we are trying to do is, in this talk, we are trying to study what's happened in history in the left, and we are trying to see what's happening differently in the present. So if something different is happening than what has previously happened, then there is a good chance that you can see a trend changing in this stock, right? So right now the trend for the last 10-15 years has been to just go up, go down, go up, go down. But now the trend might change to just go up. So we have to very carefully watch the stock for this level. If it breaks below 1562, no point in holding it and no point of entering it also. But if it gives a closing above this line, which is the resistance of the previous breakout attempt that it's made, then there is a very good reason to go long in the stock. And what will be the target? That has already been calculated here. The target will be 3373 rupees. So this has already been on my watch list. I've been watching it for a couple of weeks now. Now I'm going to add it over here as well into the Mighty Trades watch list. Okay. Let's see. So this month is 8th May. What is the price as of today? 1582.80. Okay. So since how many years been consolidating? Since 2006. So that's close to 18-year consolidation, 16-year consolidation. So 15-year plus consolidation can potentially 15 plus year consolidating at the top of the resistance zone for the last 6 months. If it consolidates for one more month, then the trend will change, can make a really big move on the upside. So very simple analysis. There was no need of any indicators here or anything. It's just pure price action, right? Just pure price action, because the price is telling you that something is different this time. So what's our target entry price? 1875. What is going to be our target? That's going to be 3373. Potential gain is 80%. What is going to be our stop loss? Our stop loss is going to be, let's see, it's going to be the bottom end of this resistance zone, 1552. And we are currently waiting for entry. Okay, so that's the view on BEML. So not many trading opportunities this week. Market's been really tough. Everything's fallen. Very few bullish strategies that are still active. We still managed to find two. One of them, SUNTECK Reality, is actually made a bearish head and shoulder pattern. Very high chance it might break down and this trade might never get triggered. but BEML still looks in a good place, and let's see if it works or not. So hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Hope you guys to learn something. Hope you guys got to learn something, and as always, thank you for watching the video. Goodbye.